Today I'm going to be telling you guys about the time that my ass got cheated on, and not only did I get cheated on, I stayed.
Ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
The reason why I'm telling the story is because it kind of will lead into the rest of the story time that I'm gonna tell you guys about my journey, basically about how my YouTube channel came about and basically how I got to New York City. And it all starts from this point right here, and I thought this story and this situation was a good kickoff. So I hope you guys really enjoy this video. Make sure if you guys do, give this video a fat ass thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on those post notifications so that you're notified every time I upload, when I upload, okay? I just got loud for no reason. I don't know why I did that. We're calm. Let's take this back 3 years ago. So I was with this guy named, we're gonna call him, what's a good lying hoe ass nigga name? We're gonna just use Jamal. At this point in the relationship, we've been together for like 3 months. I was infatuated with this guy. Like, he always took me out on dates. He just got a new whip. So it was feeling cute. He always used to make an effort to come see me. And even though there was a lot of red flags, including this one that I missed, I thought I had found my husband.
Love him. I know him, y'all. I know him.
So it was a regular ass day in the neighborhood, and I'm walking outside, about to walk to this building that I usually used to walk to for Wi-Fi connection, because at the moment my data was slowed down and I was in trouble at home, so I was not able to use the home Wi-Fi, and you know, I wanted to check my social medias. So I'm walking and I pull up close to the building and my phone goes off. And we're gonna call the girl Becky. And this girl Becky, she's in my DMs telling me that her boyfriend is Jamal and that they've been together for 3 years, and that new car that he's been bragging about and picking me up in is hers and in her name. I'm sitting there reading it like, you're not dead ass. I'm like, how does this even make sense? Because he saw me so often. We spent so much time together. I was like, how does somebody have this much time to basically have 2 whole different relationships? So I'm reading these messages and I'm shaking and I'm tight, but I'm like still trying to get to the bottom of it. So I call up Jamal lying ass. I call him and I'm basically just asking him, okay, about the information that was brought to my attention. Like, is this true? What is she saying? And who is this girl? How does she know what car you drive? How does she know this? How does she know that? He just acted completely confused, like he didn't know what was going on. Me back like,
who is this? I have no idea who this is. Just block her, just block her.
And I'm still like wanting to do what he asked me to do, but still kind of curious, but I kind of still want to trust that my boyfriend at the time was telling me the truth. Basically telling me he has no idea who this girl is, just to block her and ignore it, and not to feed into the drama and let these girls get in the way of our relationship. I was like, you know what? Bitches do be hating. Bitches do be mad. And she did not have any proof. I did exactly what he asked. I blocked her. I stopped responding to her messages. Even though there was too many coincidences, I definitely ignored them because I didn't have any proof. So me being the faithful dumbass that I was, I bought the lie. I took his word for it. So I'm at home at this point, and me and Jamal are on the phone, and I know how testy he can be, so I'm kind of not trying to push, ask any questions about the whole situation, because he basically told me to dead it because he did not know anything about it and could not answer any question. And he eventually randomly lets me know that he thinks that it's a girl that his brother was using to catfish for money, and that his brother uses his picture, and that was the same lie that he told me when another girl had DM'd me about knowing and having some sort of relationship with Jamal. A lie that he used before, a lie that didn't make no sense, and a lie that I bought. And I was like, oh, makes sense. And I wanted to believe that he could do no wrong. I thought I was in love. I thought I had found my husband. As we're on the phone and I'm asking about what Becky had just brought to my attention, he's acting completely normal. He's not acting nervous. He's not shaken up about the questions. He genuinely seems confused. He genuinely seems like he does not know who this girl is, where she came from, and how she knows what car he drives. He's completely acting like he knows as much as me. So he sticks to this lie. We drop the conversation. Now I'm chilling in bed, and me and Jamal are texting back and forth. I'm just, you know, chilling, watching TV, and then I get another message. Becky messaged my close friend with all the receipts. Like, when I tell you I was reading the receipts, there were messages of them that they had, like with cute nicknames. There was a nude picture, and when I tell you I was reading it, shaking with steam steaming from my ears and literally tears in my eyes. Like, I was so mad, and I just screenshot the messages that I got and I sent them to Jamal, and I'm like, but I thought you didn't know. I thought you didn't know who she was. I thought you had no clue. You never heard of her, that she's a hater, that she's a liar. Clearly there's something that I don't know. I clearly don't believe Jamal, so I'm talking to Becky myself, getting my questions answered, since Jamal swears on his life and everything that he loves. He doesn't know what or how this whole thing is coming about. He kind of giggled about the situation and was like,
I honestly don't know where these messages came from. These messages are fake. She photoshopped this picture. How did she even get this picture? She must have my password. She must have hacked me. She's crazy.
Just feeding me any bullshit that he could feed me, just so I didn't think that he would do something like this, instead of just admitting it. Because at this point, girl, we already knew. I don't know how he was keeping it so cool, because like the receipts that I was getting, anybody would have just been like, okay, I was caught. Me and Becky are messaging back and forth, putting our twos and twos together, and I even come to the conclusion that she was not lying, not even a little bit, because there were times where things just didn't make sense that now made sense. Like, she was putting dates together where he was acting funny, and I was putting dates together, and I was just like, wow. There was a time where he dropped me off at work, and he was already in a rush in the morning because he said he had to take his brother to work. And as I'm getting out the car, I look down at the door, and there's a tampon in the side of the door. And I remember asking about it. He told me that it was his grandmother's, and I was just such in a good mood because I just spent the night with my bae, and I was just so in love for no reason. I kind of just giggled it off. I was like, your grandma's. And I get out the car and shut the door and didn't think twice about it because I was so naive and so new, and I ignored so many red flags. But yeah, and now thinking about it, talking to Becky, I'm like, wow, this really is your whole car, because whose grandmother is getting their cycle? I promise you, his grandma was way past the age to be getting any sort of period. So I'm messaging Becky, going back and forth with Jamal, after I already told him if he just admitted to what he did wrong, that I would act like nothing happened and forgive him as long as he promised not to do something like that again. As stupid as that sound, I thought that that would be enough for him to tell me the truth still, which he still didn't do. So he was going so hard and sticking to this lie so well that I started to believe that he wasn't lying. Like, started turning the situation on me, talking about how I'm a traitor and I'm untrustworthy because I didn't block Becky when I asked him, and that I went behind his back and I ended up messaging Becky, and that we were breaking up, and he ended up blocking me. Blocking me. You would have thought I cheated, I did something wrong just because I had some questions. Like, anybody would have some questions in the situation. And I can't believe that I started feeling crazy and almost started doubting the truth because he was such a good liar and I was so brainwashed. Wow, I get blocked. I'm thinking that this is the end of the relationship, and I'm just like, wow, I guess it was meant to be. I guess it's better off this way. I'm up at night in my feelings, like, okay, well, girl, you deserve better anyway. Like, this is not what you deserve. Really just like trying to cope with the fact that this nigga's crazy and he broke up with me, and I still knew he was crazy, and I was sort of relieved that the relationship was over, but I was still not ready for the relationship to be over. It was a really confusing situation, and I'm going back and forth with Becky, and we're just like, girl, we're both heartbroken, and like, can we believe he did this to us, that to us, womp blah blah, womp womp womp. Really, we're talking about how toxic Jamal was and how we both did not need to be with him and how we both deserve better and how we both this and that. We were just having little girl powwow on the DMs, like,
yes sis, like, don't put up with that, you're too cute, and yes sis, don't put up with that, you deserve better, blah 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 blah.
So I'm up all night, hella in my feelings. Me and Becky are going back and forth. I fall asleep. Eventually it's time for me to get up to get ready for work. Still haven't received a message from Jamal, still haven't heard from Jamal, and I'm like, damn, he still ain't come around just to admit it. I'm just going about my day, trying to be a stronger person, not call Jamal, not try to call star 67 his number, even though, girl, I wanted to. And my day's halfway over and I get a call. And at first I ignore the call, and at first I'm ignoring the messages, but then that weak bitch inside of me came out and was like,
just respond. You know you love him, you know he loves you. Remember this time, remember that time? What if he's ready to talk and admit it all out? Girl, you got a few more questions anyway, just
any excuse my brain could make up to message this nigga again and message him back and hear what he had to say. Honey, if you know a man is lying and you know that there's no amount of excuse, no amount of truth to right his wrong, don't pick up that phone call. Don't do it, because you deserve better, and there's no making it better. There's no bouncing back from certain situations, especially this one. I'm at work at this point and I'm going throughout my day, and of course that call comes through, as any toxic relationship goes. Y'all break up and get together 1,000,001 times, no matter how bad the situation is. So I obviously pick up, and he's ready to tell me everything. He's apologizing, saying this, saying that. Got my triple confirmation from Becky, myself, and him that this was something that was happening, that he was in a relationship with this girl for 3 years, that he was using her car to pick me up, that he was lying about this time he was out, he was lying about this time he was out, that he wasn't asleep when he said he was at this time. And I was just like, wow, Coffee. But that still wasn't enough for me. For some reason, I just was super trusting, and like I said, I thought I had found my husband. I was like, you know what? Everybody deserves second chances. Everybody deserves a second chance. He admitted, he told me the truth after basically pulling teeth, that of course I'm acting fake mad over. Like at first I didn't take him back. Like I let him plead his case a little bit. I let him answer some of my questions that I wanted answered, and made him promise that like if I did get back together with him, he couldn't do something like that to me again, or it was over for good. By the end of the night we were back together again after he cried to me on the phone, and it was just like really disgusting. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Like he literally cheated on me and I took him back. And if our relationship was not bad already, which it was way past being healthy, even before this whole cheating scandal, it definitely did not get better. And he had moved to California not too long after that whole situation, and I got kicked out not too long after that situation, and ended up moving to California with this nigga. The worst decision I made, but the best decision I made.